How about you be on your back the whole game too, you punk?
Yeah, but you gon' feel it, Cooley. I'm telling you, you gon' feel it.
I told you keep that camera running, you might miss something.
We're gonna be in your face and letting you know the real talk.
This is the NFL, which stands for not for long.
And we are riding high here into Week 4. Noah Gronniger, Clint Switzer, fresh back from Arrowhead Stadium where the Chiefs got a big win against the New York Jets. And Ryan Fitzpatrick is still turning the ball over. 6 interceptions on the day. We're going to get into that and a lot more, as well as the Chiefs' next opponent with our guest, current Steelers linebacker number 55, Arthur Moats. If you're thinking about it, don't cross the moat.
Hey, Arthur's a great guy, one of the best people in the NFL, one of the best guys you'll ever meet. We've been good friends with him for a long time. Going to welcome him on here in just a little bit. But you mentioned it. We came back from Arrowhead Stadium like children, Noah, because we sat there in the front row by the players' tunnel. And just to see a lot of the alumni back for the Chiefs and how
Marty Schottenheimer walking by, getting to talk
Priest
to a few
Holmes,
of them. Tony Richardson,
Dante Hall.
Eric Warfield,
huge,
Will Shields.
Huge, congratulations for Tony Richardson being inducted into the Chiefs Hall of Fame. Much deserved, and it was a great day. It was a game that we both picked the Jets to win.
Yeah.
The high-flying Jets passing attack, but Ryan Fitzpatrick, as you mentioned, the 6 interceptions, the Jets turned it over 8 times. Are there concerns for this Chiefs team right now? You betcha. I foresaw a better offense than this, but I think this is exactly what Andy Reid wants. He doesn't want a high-flying offense that's high risk, high reward.
Well, that's good because he doesn't have it.
But Noah, hey, you know what? I always say this, don't cry over points that you didn't need, and the Chiefs did not need many points to beat the Jets on Sunday.
Well, if the offense keeps playing like this, in the future, we will need those points, and we will be crying over the points that they don't get.
Well, hey, this Chiefs defense, by the way, has not given up a touchdown in 36 drives. 36 straight drives without a touchdown. That goes back to the second drive of the Houston game. This Chiefs defense, again, a bit patchwork. We were concerned about the secondary, and it's played really well. It's definitely, by getting 6 interceptions, you're going to give huge props to the Chiefs secondary, especially Marcus Peters. You just got to love the way he's playing. He might be the best corner in football.
He's got to be. I mean, who else is out there? I mean, you've got Josh Norman out there, but he's not traveling with guys. Either is Marcus Peters, but Marcus has 4 interceptions already in this young season. He's looking impressive. And we got to talk about Steven Nelson and Phillip Gaines, the other corners.
DJ White got a pick.
DJ White got a pick. Daniel Sorensen as the safety got a pick. But definitely Nelson and Gaines were really hard on. We didn't think a lot of them, especially in preseason. They were getting just torched. Phillip Gaines has some pass interference penalties early on in the season, but they had a great game against the Jets. So we've got to give them props where props are due.
Well, the Chiefs also did a good job. I mean, they were able to punch in, the touchdown to Travis Kelce where he was able to take the ball. Hey, he was able to extend the ball over the pylon and score a touchdown, something
Unlike
Spencer Ware was not able to do later. Weird NFL rule, weird situation. It's very freak accident to me to really lose a possession that way. It's very unfortunate. The Chiefs could have put some more points on the board, I think, but that Ware turnover took 7 off the board right there.
Did. And this defense has been surprising, especially since we have no pass rush.
No sacks
Combo, Ford,
against the Jets.
Just no sacks. We are getting hurries. We're kind of getting to the quarterback, muddying the pocket, which is making him throw earlier than he wants to. But the sacks, the pass rush really isn't there. The secondary is really holding it down for longer than they should if we had a great pass rush.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and welcome our guest at this time. It is current Steelers linebacker Arthur Moats as we talk about the Chiefs-Steelers matchup. Sunday Night Football coming up. Arthur, welcome to the show again, man. Great to hear from you. And I know it was a tough loss there against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, but hey, it's the NFL, another game, another opponent. I'm sure you guys are ready to get back out there and get at it.
Absolutely, man. Hey, the beauty of the NFL is the 24-hour rule. And the thing about the 24-hour rule is it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you got to move on. And that's the biggest thing we're focused on. We just watched the film of the game. Went through our corrections. Now we understand the Chiefs are coming in. They're, a very, very good opponent. Had a lot of success last year, so it's definitely going to be, important for us to make sure we get on the right foot and just right this ship and get this win on Sunday.
Well, what happened on Sunday against those Philadelphia Eagles? You guys had a tough game out there. Ben Roethlisberger said the whole team stunk. Cameron Hayward came out and said Carson Wentz looked like a Hall of Famer out there. Did the Eagles find something, a blueprint to attack your defense, or do you feel like it was just a lack of focus, a lack of execution that you guys can fix this week?
Man, the biggest thing, they executed at a high level. And when I tell you that a lot of things that we did were self-inflicted, I know on 3 of their scoring drives, we had 15-yard penalties that extended the drive for them, plays that we should have been off, 3 and outs, et cetera, and things like that. So for us going forward, we just have to make sure that we don't beat ourselves. It's the same thing we've been saying since day one. We know we're capable of, and offensively and defensively, when we don't have penalties, especially in critical situations, we are an extremely tough team to beat.
Well, absolutely. And Arthur, you've been in Pittsburgh a few years now. We've been in touch with you since you were a Buffalo Bill, and you came as a 7th-round pick, from James Madison University. Now you're a veteran. It's your 7th year in the league, man. Believe it or not, you're getting up there. You're almost as old as Noah and I now, man. Not quite. Don't worry. But what do you tell the rookies coming in, especially those that come in from smaller schools like you did? What kind of a mentor are you to some of those guys that come in, not from Alabama or some of the big schools, but you're from James Madison. What do you tell some of those guys to kind of keep them focused and to help them acclimate to the league?
Man, well, the first thing I tell them is you got to have a crazy work ethic, because, as you stated, we're not, the guys coming from the bigger 1A schools. So a lot of times, from an athletic standpoint, we don't pass the eyeball test all the time. We're not, the 6'4", 260-pound guys like you would typically see from those type of schools. And then the next thing I tell them is, you have to make sure you are sharp all the time. You're not allowed to have missed assignments, missed tackles, and just things like that, because you didn't have the luxury of being a first rounder. You really have to prepare and mentally be locked in every play, because you're not allowed to have bad plays. And ultimately, I feel like that's why I had the success that I've had in my career and the longevity as well, because I'm not a guy who's going to make a lot of mental errors. I don't beat myself.
All right, Arthur, you guys take on the Kansas City Chiefs this week. This offense has been less than spectacular so far. What do you guys need to do to fix this? Your defense is 30th in passing, 4th against the run. What do you guys have to do to kind of remedy your defense going against the Chiefs this week?
Man, the biggest thing, like you said, man, we got to get more sacks. We have to continue to get more pressure. And when we're looking at the film of our rushes, we'll have good rushes, but if one person misses contain or one person is out of their rush lane, that's having a negative effect on us. And then just capitalizing on the opportunity that we get. When we have an opportunity to get a sack, we can't miss that opportunity, and I felt like that's been happening as well. So going forward, we definitely have to just continue to lock in, continue to, focus on the details. When you are very detail-oriented, you're going to have a lot more success in this league.
Well, Arthur, you got the Chiefs coming in. We've been talking about them. Alex Smith is a deceptively mobile quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. Is able to hurt people with his legs. How do you, as a defense, kind of prepare for a player like that coming in? Because Alex Smith, he's a guy that shows throws a lot of short passes, but again can take off and kill you with his legs. And as a linebacker, what do you do to kind of have to be disciplined and stay at home? How do you make that happen for your team?
Well, it's a fine line of, being disciplined, staying at home, but at the same time, you have to rush this guy. You have to get hits on him. I feel like he has a lot of success when he has lanes where he can escape, and that comes from the lack of discipline. But at the same time, if you just sit back and let him dink and dunk you, he's going to be very successful with that as well. So it's going to be important to make them one-dimensional. It's going to be important to make sure that we get hits on him, but at the same time, contain him, because we all know what he can do with his legs.
Well, Arthur, if Noah and I, decide to come up to Pittsburgh, for the game Sunday night, I assume you've got our back, as Chiefs fans. We'll be perfectly protected. Or do we need a terrible towel, or how do we do this?
Oh, man, we definitely can't do that, especially after last week's performance, man. We got to come out here and make a statement. So, if I was you, I would just bring a terrible towel and just try to blend in.
That's a good call.
Well, Le'Veon Bell comes off his 3-week suspension this week, back for the Kansas City Chiefs game. What kind of lift is that, not just for the offense, but for you as the entire team, seeing him back in the building, working with him, and getting reacclimated?
Man, anytime one of our brothers is able to come back, it's always a huge boost, because, we feel like when all of our guys are together and we have our best guys out there, we're going to just be that much better. And you got to think, we already have D'Angelo, who's playing at an extremely high level, but now you make that into a two-headed monster with Le'Veon, arguably the best back in the league. And now you see, how much more it's going to open up for the offense. Anywhere you line him up on the field or on offense, he's a mismatch. And I feel like, just him coming back, it gives the offense a boost. And then defensively, we're going to feed off of that as well, because we want to get him the ball back. We want to make sure that they're getting as many touches as they can. So all across the board, we're extremely excited about it.
Well, Arthur, I'm not asking you to, absolutely not asking you to talk bad about anybody or throw anyone under the bus whatsoever. But Arthur, what I wonder is why the NFL, why NFL media, sports media doesn't spend more time focusing on players like yourself, Arthur. You were the 2013 NFL Man of the Year for your work with United Way and the multiple school visits and the things you do, the work you do with NFL Play 60, the things that you've done, Arthur. I mean, you're one of the good guys out there, and it seems to me that the media likes to focus on the negative things happening in the league, whether it be players getting in trouble or whatever they're doing with the national anthem this week, whatever that is. But Arthur, you're one of the good guys, man. I just want to thank you so much for the work you do in the community, whether it be in Buffalo or Pittsburgh. You're one of the good guys out there, Arthur. And I just, we just wish that the NFL spent more time honoring people like yourself, man.
Well, man, I definitely appreciate that. But at the same time, I understand that negativity is what it sells, and for better or worse, that's just the climate of the world, but that shouldn't never, make a person stop wanting to be a good person, not want to continue to be, just their best self. So for me, I don't do it for the accolades. I don't do it for the notification. I just do it because I genuinely want to see people better. I want to make this world a better place. And ultimately, I feel like the platform that I'm given, I have a great opportunity to make a difference, and that's why I do what I do.
Well, it's amazing, Arthur, and we just can't thank you enough for just how great you are just in your community, and we wish more players would kind of follow your lead and go that route. But before we let you go, we've got to touch on this for two guys that know nothing about style or fashion. You and David DeCastro were named co-captains for Rock Steeler Style. Give us some more details about that. And before the details, in the locker room, are there any jealous players? We hear Antonio Brown is calling for a recount of the votes. He feels like there's been some tampering. He feels like he should have been one of the co-captains.
Hey, well, first off, no offense to Antonio. He has great style. But for some people, his style may be a little too fashion forward. Whereas with myself and DeCastro, DeCastro going to give you that classic, just clean up look, and I'm going to push the envelope with my colors. But at the same time, I still, stick to a nice flow and a nice vibe with my suit game, and that's why a lot of people can relate to it. So, me and DeCastro being co-captains, I feel like, even if it was a recount, it's still going to be the same result. But, ultimately, the fashion show that we do every year is for a great cause, and the Roonies, the money that goes to it, they donate it and things like that. So it's always good. And at the same time, it's fun for us as a team to just bond again and strengthen our relationship without something that is totally related to football. This is something where we can let our hair down, show our style, show, our families off and stuff like that, and also interact with the fans and stuff. So, it's always a good event. I love to be a part of it. I'm glad I'm the co-captain this year.
Well, that's awesome. So you're saying Antonio Brown, there's just the world is not ready for that style. Maybe it'll catch up with him someday.
It's already in Paris, probably.
Hey, I look at it like this. Antonio's swag, his suit game is like Kanye. Kanye is ahead of the game with how he raps, how he acts, mentally and things like that. And that's how AD is, man. In a couple of years, everybody will catch up and we'll all be wearing, lime green print suits with, inches on the back of it. You know what I mean? Or anything. That's just that. We're not there yet, but it's happening. It's coming.
Well, you guys are the only hope for Noah and I. We're going to come up to Pittsburgh for the game here Sunday night. Maybe have you guys fit us, make us look a little fresh because we look like bums out there.
Yeah, we
and I'll tell you what,
help.
we need you to get us a terrible towel so we can blend into this game here at Heinz Field Sunday night. Make sure that we don't get harassed because we got Arthur Moats on our side. I'll tell you one thing. We've already told our Chiefs one thing, Arthur. Don't cross the moats, man. That's going to be the theme for Sunday night, right?
Don't cross the moats, my man.
Hey, Arthur, you are the best. Hey, man, we're looking forward to this game Sunday night. Cannot thank you enough for taking your time, man. I know you're probably in between practices and workouts and treatment and everything else. We'll see you on Sunday night, man. Best of luck, and we'll catch up down the road as the season progresses, my man.
No doubt, man. Hey, always good to talk with y'all, man.
Thanks a lot.
Hold down the sack game for those Steelers, man.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
All right, no problem.
Huge thanks to Arthur Moats, Rock Steelers Style. Maybe he can show us some fashion tips. I don't know.
We're hopeless.
Yeah, we probably are.
Maybe for the rest of the Steelers team could look to Arthur for some tips, but we're already hopeless. I mean, My clothes don't even match. I have blue under the. It's a disaster.
I guess I match, but it's just not. It's not as slick, as stylish as those guys.
Well, they're going to be ready. The Steelers are going to be ready. And I think this is a beatable team.
Back.
The Steelers are a beatable team.
They are.
I don't think this is as an offense that it was good as it was a year ago. And the pass defense for the Steelers, 30th in the league right now.
Yeah,
and
they're a mess back there.
The problem is the Chiefs are having trouble getting downfield and racking up yards through the air with quarterback Alex Smith. You got to play to the Steelers' weakness maybe in this game and try to stretch the field.
How the Chiefs can't get sacks. The Steelers can't get sacks either.
They have
one on the season, and that was by our guest, Arthur Moats. So Arthur's definitely going to have to hold that down for him, get some more sacks, because no one else is really doing it for the Pittsburgh Steelers in that secondary. It's young, it's inexperienced, and they are having big problems back there communicating and getting in the right position. Darren Sproles last week for the Eagles, 6 catches, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was really just a nightmare that they had no answer for. So.
Well, we're getting ready to bring on our video correspondent for the week, Sean Salisbury, as he joins us every week here on the Not For Long show for his Sean Smeck Unfiltered. And this week we're going to be talking about the rookie quarterback play. How are Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz able to have this early success in their career? You got to love what Carson Wentz is doing. I don't know if those stats are going to bear out. You've heard a lot of big comparisons for Wentz. Now, the question is, where were the Rams, where were the Browns in this situation where Wentz goes to the Eagles. The Eagles move up to get him second. It looks great. Dak Prescott not turning it over. The Cowboys are 2-1. Sean Salisbury, our video correspondent, man, take it away. Give us your thoughts, on these quarterbacks and how they're able to have success this earlier in their career.
All right, thanks, guys. I get often asked the question about why are guys like Wentz and Prescott at their young age better than some of the other guys. And I look at 3 things that come to mind as to why they're able to make this transition so quickly and so seamlessly. One is they fit in with the guys in the locker room, meaning that they know how to make guys around them better without being big mouths. As they go and take care of their business, and this is what you hear about them, take care of their business and gain respect early without begging for it and asking for it in the clubhouse/locker room. Number 2 is accuracy. While I train quarterbacks all over the country, I can't take a 50% completion guy and make him a 70% completion guy. Nobody can. You're either accurate or you're not within a couple percentage points. Both Wentz and Prescott, extremely accurate. And finally, which may be the most important, their ability to process information quickly in the classroom and then take it out to the field and take care of their business. And even if it doesn't work on the practice field, they're able to shine on the bright lights. So processing information and being able to keep their team in the right play when as most rookies are just struggling not to suffocate themselves. That's exactly why those 3 reasons why Prescott and Wentz not only are stars now, but will be superstars and Pro Bowl players in the National Football League and have made the NFC far more interesting. We'll get back to you guys in just about 2 seconds. Cool.
Bringing it as always on Sean Smack Unfiltered, our correspondent Sean Salisbury bringing it hard. Wentz and Dak Prescott, just how amazing, and just you don't see this a lot with rookie quarterbacks and how they're coming in and just kind of making a new way, paving a new way for these young quarterbacks. And Brian Baldinger went maybe just a little too far. He was out there saying pre-snap, Carson Wentz, Peyton Manning. Post-snap, Carson Wentz, Aaron Rodgers. That's a little too far, sipping too much of the Kool-Aid, Carson Wentz Kool-Aid for me, but Carson Wentz is impressive out there. You had Cameron Hayward for the Steelers calling him, saying he looked like a Hall of Famer out there. Maybe it was just that Steelers defense that made him look that way, but it was definitely impressive.
Well, as you talk about the rest of the 3-0s, you've got Denver at 3-0 right now. Their schedule's still not really getting any tougher. They're going to go play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got the Vikings at 3-0, surprising. They got Sam Bradford. Looks like things are kind of clicking there without Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
And you've got the Baltimore Ravens, which what are they right now? I don't know what they are at all. I've seen them come back against the Browns, beat the Jaguars. I don't know what they are. But Noah, as we look at the Patriots, they're 3-0 with 2 different quarterbacks. Tom Brady's still suspended for 1 more game. And with Brissett and Garoppolo hurt, we're not sure what's going to happen if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be rushed back. But as I think about this, I'm not calling Tom Brady a system quarterback at all. But with what they've been able to do with Josh McDaniels being able to put these quarterbacks in a position to win, I can't help but think that I've got 5 quarterbacks that I know I could put in there and would have success and beat the Buffalo Bills to get the Patriots to 4-0 before Brady's return against the Browns. My number 1 quarterback that I know they could put in and continue winning is none other than Screech Powers. Samuel Screech Powers from Saved by the Bell. Sure, you knew him as the lovable loser, the nerd from Saved by the Bell. He was the water boy, for goodness sakes, for the Bayside Tigers. Put him up there, put him in, and oops, the Patriots would find their way to 4-0. My second quarterback that I'm inserting into this situation is a wheelchair-bound Jason Street from the show Friday Night Lights. Now, Street was one of the top quarterback recruits in the country when Friday Night Lights came out in 2006. In the first episode, though, he became paralyzed and was wheelchair bound for the rest of the series. You know what? Wheelchair or not, I'm putting Jason Street back there, and I think the Patriots would still have success with Street throwing the ball, throwing the way he did number 6 back there. I like Jason Street. I like his game, and I like him for the Patriots to get them to 4-0. My third quarterback is none other than Junior from the movie Little Giants. Now, Junior was a late addition to the Little Giants. They found him throwing very tight, perfect spirals with the toilet paper in the grocery store. That's how Junior made it to the Little Giants. He was able to lead that team to a victory, and I think if you insert him back there, Josh McDaniels would have him doing some interesting things in that offense, probably handing the ball off a lot, using those check downs, using those hot reads. Junior, Devin Sawa from the Little Giants. I like him in this Patriots offense to have a lot of success. Next, I'm going to throw at you a little bit of a curveball because, yes, Keanu Reeves played Shane Falco in the movie The Replacements, but I also love Keanu Reeves as the former quarterback of the Ohio State Buckeyes from Point Break. So, yes, I have him. I have Johnny Utah getting inserted into that, knee injury and all, FBI agent and all. I like Utah. Utah, give me 2. And Utah, give me a victory over the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. And finally, call me crazy, but I'll put Jamarcus Russell in there, all 320 pounds of him. Give me Jamarcus Russell, former Raiders, former LSU, number 1 overall pick. Insert him this Sunday against the Buffalo Bills, and that team's going to get to 4-0. That's how this team's been able to build a dynasty, being able to use the next man up philosophy. Haven't had to do it with the quarterback since 2009 and Matt Castle. But you know what? You use my list of quarterbacks, and Noah, the Patriots are going to get to 4-0 as Tom Brady comes back for the next week against the Cleveland Browns.
All those great quarterbacks that could get wins for the New England Patriots, but I've got one that you left off because he could not get that win for the Patriots against the Bills. That's Jay Cutler, and he's my not for long of the week. Jay Cutler, you are not long for the NFL anymore. Your starting career is over. You've been given too many chances, too much money. You refuse to work on your footwork. You refuse to work on the fundamentals of the game. It's just not in the cards for you. John Fox is already talking about how when you're healthy, you may not come back and get your starting job back from Brian Hoyer, who's looking disastrous out there. I think everyone's just done with you. You had your time in Denver. You've had your time in Chicago. And I think that's it for Jay Cutler in the NFL. Get out of here. Go work at the grocery store. Do whatever you do. You've got hundreds of millions of dollars that these teams just gave to you on a silver platter for doing nothing in this NFL. So that's my not for long of the week, Jay Cutler.
So Screech Powers gets the win, but not Jay Cutler. I like that, and I might agree with you there, actually. But hey, a lot going on as this season we start to learn more about these teams, and we've had such a great time talking with our guests, with Arthur Moats, with Sean Salisbury. But man, quick picks. Let's look at the AFC West specifically. We never made our pick. Chiefs going on the road to Pittsburgh. Arthur Moat said he would get us a terrible towel to blend in.
Yes, we will
need it, but I like the Chiefs in this game. 20-17, winning really in the final seconds, maybe a Cairo Santos field goal. I think this team has reinvigorated me with that win over the Jets, and I think that maybe that'll carry on to this week.
If you would have asked me last week, I'd say Steelers in a landslide, especially with Le'Veon Bell coming back. They get blown out by the Eagles. The Chiefs, an impressive win, 8 turnovers against the New York Jets. But it's in Heinz Field. The Steelers are going to right the ship. They're going to get things figured out. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. Le'Veon Bell coming back is going to just electrify that stadium, that city, that team. And I think it is going to be a close game. These teams are kind of evenly matched. Antonio Brown's going to go off. Things are going to open up for him, especially with Le'Veon Bell coming back to the fold. Steelers 24, Chiefs 13.
Are the Denver Broncos ever going to lose a football game? They go to Tampa and they win a game. They win again. They're going to be 4-0, and they're not very good, and they should not be doing this.
I'm not sure that the Broncos do lose a game the rest of the season, or the New England Patriots. 2 16-0 teams.
New Orleans Saints might have the worst defense since the Chiefs 2002. They look horrendous. They take on the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the San Diego Chargers. You do have a loss of Keenan Allen and Danny Woodhead, and Manti Te'o just went out for the season, although that's probably not a huge loss for them. But Phillip Rivers is playing at the top of his game no matter who's in there. He's still got his offensive line intact. Melvin Gordon's stepping up and improving. So that Saints defense is dreadful. Drew Brees is great, but it's not enough. The San Diego Chargers get the win.
Raiders are 2-1. And they're going to go to Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens. We don't know what the Ravens really are yet. They're undefeated, but I feel like they could be 0-3 just as easily, and we wouldn't really know it.
Yeah, this is a crazy game. I mean, I don't know really who to pick. The Raiders have looked impressive. They get that win against the Saints, but then they falter against the Falcons. The Ravens are 3-0, but it's not against impressive football teams, and it's come down to the wire in all the games. So I'm going to take the Ravens for the simple fact that it's at home, and I have no better analysis for you than that. It's at home, so I'm going Ravens.
Hey, perfect. And, we can't thank you enough for joining us here on the Not For Long Pro Football Show, where we are at it every week, every Thursday on the Great American Sports Network. Noah, that's our site. Please keep the tweets coming at GASN Sports. We'll answer your questions on air. Got a question for one of our guests? Tweet it to us. We'll get it to them, man. That's what we do.
GreatAmericanSportsNetwork.com. These are our impressive teams of the week. Keep an eye on the Eagles. See if Carson Wentz can keep it up. Thank you all for watching. Keep the interaction coming.
These teams aren't going to be impressive for much longer. This may be the last time you see these two helmets.
We mentioned that week one.
I'm taking them away right now.
We have the Lions helmet up week one.
I'm taking them away right now.
They're not coming back. They're gone. We're gone. Thank you for watching.